Across the South, folks are wearing a new label. They're Democrats bolting to the GOP. Tomorrow morning on CNN's Daybreak.
The crack of the bats at the Cincinnati Reds training camp was nearly drowned out today by the shouts of reporters. Manager Pete Rose was busy dodging questions about a league investigation into his activities. The baseball commissioner's office says it's investigating serious allegations about Rose, but will not elaborate further. There's speculation that the investigation concerns Rose's gambling habits. Rose shed no light on the matter in his radio pregame show.
We are cooperating with the commissioner's office, and we hope that everything gets taken care of real fast before opening day so we can get down to business, and business is winning the National League West. And that's all I'd like to say about that.
Rose has previously said he bets on horse and dog races, neither of which are prohibited by Major League Baseball.
Joel Steinberg wants his manslaughter conviction overturned. Steinberg was found guilty in January of the beating death of the 6-year-old girl that he raised. In court papers filed today, Steinberg's lawyers accuse the jury foreman of manipulating the other jurors. More from CNN's Richard Ross.
Just days before sentencing, Joel Steinberg and his new team of lawyers are seeking a new trial. They charged the jury foreman, Jeremiah Cole, with misconduct, accusing Cole of manipulating the jury based upon outside influences, which include his girlfriend.
I think this is constitutional error of the first magnitude. I think anyone is entitled to a trial free of outside influence.
In court papers, Steinberg charges that Cole consulted with his girlfriend, a management organization specialist, while the trial was being conducted. Cole described in a magazine called Special Meetings how his girlfriend's techniques on how to handle groups and meetings helped in the tense jury room. Cole criticized Steinberg's attempt at a new trial.
He and his lawyer are grasping at straws if they're looking at Sharon's and my conversations as in any way affecting the fairness of the jury's decision.
Cole said he never talked specifics about the trial with his girlfriend, but he credits his girlfriend's training techniques as essential to his performance as jury foreman. Another juror, Alan Jarrett, said he was now as pleased with the proceedings as he was right after the verdict was reached.
We've turned into a family, and I think that was one of the major factors that kept us going when it looked like things weren't going to go anywhere.
The jury convicted Steinberg of first-degree manslaughter in the death of his illegally adopted daughter, Lisa, after acquitting him on second-degree murder. His attorneys have asked the trial judge to hold a hearing on the jury foreman's conversations about meeting skills. One law expert didn't think much of the mistrial motion.
I don't think it has any merit. Apparently what Cole did was simply to ask his friend for advice about small group management. That's exactly what he had a plan for. The jury foreman manages a small group.
But noted defense attorney Barry Slotnick thought the implications could be serious.
This could set aside the verdict. We may have another Steinberg trial.
The move to set aside the verdict will be discussed this Friday when Judge Harold Rothwax sentences Steinberg from between 8 1/3 to 25 years. Some of the jurors say they will attend as spectators. Richard Roth, CNN, New York.
The Supreme Court today considered a Texas law that has inflamed passions over what's more important, the flag or free speech. The justices heard arguments in the case of Gregory Lee Johnson, sentenced to prison for setting fire to the flag during the 1984 Republican National Convention in Dallas. Outside the court today, a crowd of demonstrators, many with anti-American signs, stood watch. The Texas Court of Appeals overturned Johnson's conviction, but the state of Texas appealed to the Supreme Court. Johnson's lawyer, noted civil liberties attorney William Kunstler, says that the case strikes at the heart of free speech protection.
I think it's a hard nut to swallow, but it's the kind of nut that the Founding Fathers wanted us to swallow, because they said that it's the hard words, not the soft words, that need protection.
The Supreme Court has previously struck down laws requiring citizens to show a special deference to the flag.
There is a new warning out concerning another pesticide, which may be contaminating your food. More when the evening news continues.
And we'll tell you why there's a new call for a get tough policy against millions of Americans.
You've got the magic touch. Ooh, it makes me glow so much. Ooh, it casts a spell. It rings a bell. The magic touch.
On your next business trip, feel the Hyatt touch.
The magic touch.
going to Tokyo on business. Tokyo, where's that? About 1 million miles away. Wow, Seabird brought a sweater.
Every day, Northwest flies from more of the U.S. to more of Asia than any other airline.
You just got a frequent flyer award, huh?
That's right.
You don't fly frequently.
No, infrequently.
How can you be a frequent flyer if you don't fly frequently?
How can I hit the ball if you're talking
How
to me?
can you hit the ball if you're going to be talking over there?
On Northwest, you don't have to fly a lot to earn a free trip fast.
On CNN Sports Tonight, one of baseball's greats faces suspension. Could gambling strike Pete Rose out? Tonight at 11:30 Eastern on CNN.
They corrupted his town, destroyed his family. Now, Buford Buzzer is fighting back with a vengeance.
You let them do this to me and get away with it? And you give in your time right to do the same damn thing to any one of you? You're out of order, sir.
A lone wolf standing tall against a mob. The saga of a true American hero. Walking Tall. Part 2, Walking Tall. And final chapter, Walking Tall. Beginning at 8:05 Eastern on the Superstation Wednesday night.
The government says consumer prices went up by a moderate 0.4% last month, but economists are still worried about inflation. So far this year, inflation is running at an annual rate of 6.1%. Over the last 7 years, the rate has only been 4.4%. Some economists say consumer prices will get worse before they get any better. That's because wholesale prices are up at an annual rate of 12.7%. The wholesale increases will be passed on to consumers in the coming months, of course.
In medical news, government scientists say babies and children could get sick if they eat potatoes or bananas containing a certain pesticide. The scientists want a chemical called aldicarb banned from those foods. They say a single drop of aldicarb absorbed through the skin can kill an adult. And the amount found in some potatoes could cause stomach cramps, nervous disorders, headaches, and other problems in children. The Environmental Protection Agency says a board of experts will review the scientists' recommendations before making a decision on the ban.
A consumer group says the government is not paying enough attention to deadly health menaces. The problem killing almost 400,000 Americans every year. And as CNN's Carol Cook reports, those deaths are preventable.
The consequences of cigarette smoking cost the United States an estimated $65 billion a year in health care costs and lost productivity, according to a congressional study. But the Public Citizen Health Research Group says the federal government spends only $12 million a year for smoking research and treatment.
In the clamor for a war on drugs, we focused only on alcohol and illicit drugs, whereas nicotine, which kills 390,000 people a year, has been virtually ignored.
In a 24-page petition, Public Citizen and the American Medical Students Association urged Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Louis Sullivan to make smoking cessation a national priority by developing specific guidelines on treatment for nicotine dependence, mandating Medicare and Medicaid coverage for nicotine addiction treatment, withholding Medicare funds from hospitals if they don't ban smoking, and linking both medical school accreditation and state physician licensing to training in smoking prevention and treatment.
At University of Pennsylvania, where I attend school, we had a whole day devoted to alcoholism, going to AA meetings, having psychiatrists come in and explain alcoholism, and had nothing, absolutely nothing on smoking cessation.
The American Cancer Society and American Heart and Lung Associations also endorsed the proposal. Studies show only about half the physicians in this country regularly tell their smoking patients to quit. Less than 10% of hospitals ban smoking, and nearly 90% of medical residents say they never received formal training about effective smoking cessation techniques. A spokesman for the American Association of Medical Colleges says, while more could be done, specific courses in smoking cessation would be impractical.
As an educator, I think what the student needs to know is what are the concepts that deal with substance abuse in the general sense. To send a student to every kind of substance abuse treatment program there is, so that they have seen them all,